Hello everyone, my name is Gentleman Jex, and today I am going to be doing something a little bit different for you guys. Today I'll be telling you guys a story. Now I'm noticing a lot of storytime YouTubers come out and, tell stories, so I figured I'd throw in my 2 cents. We're gonna have some fun, it's gonna be great. I've got a killer story for you, so let's get right into it. So today's story is about some crazy hijinks my friends and I got into while we were playing Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, it's basically just a tabletop role-playing game where you get into crazy hijinks while playing a myriad of classes. It was super fun. Anyways, to set the stage, I was the DM, or for those of you guys who don't know, the Dungeon Master, and basically I kind of controlled the universe and the outcomes. I was the narrator of the story. Now, Ryan, Zach, and Alex, all three brothers, with Ryan and Zach being twins, they were all players of mine. Now, the trio were on their way to defeat a great mercenary named Deadlock. Now, Deadlock had a gigantic fortress in the middle of a forest that was super heavily guarded. Now, because they were of a low level, they couldn't just barge into this fortress guns blazing. Now, Zack, being a rogue, just wanted to sneak his way in, but Alex, who was a very charismatic ranger, wanted to talk his way in. Ryan, unfortunately, didn't have either one of those qualities. You see, Ryan was a dwarven fighter. He was great at bashing skulls, and that's about it. Ultimately, the group decided to go with both options as they saw a caravan heading into the fortress. So Alex went up to the caravan driver, convinced him that he was part of the mercenary group that Deadlock was in charge of, and managed to get himself and Ryan and Zack into the caravan. Now, Zack, being a rogue, did as a rogue is born to do: pickpockets and slit throats. So he did just that. He pickpockets and he slit throats. So eventually they were able to take over the caravan. Because they had killed the drivers and the passengers in the caravan, they planned on using the uniforms they got from their victims. They each put on their uniforms respectively, but Ryan happens to be, because he's a dwarf, he couldn't fit into his. His chubby body wouldn't squeeze through. Then he was like, well, I'm too fat, I can't fit in this. So they had to start coming up with a different plan, and pretty quickly, because a stalling caravan was looking pretty suspicious to the guards on the walls. So they ended up deciding to drive the caravan through the gate and then sneak out on foot for the rest of the distance they needed to cover. Zack had no problem doing this. In fact, it was his specialty, and Alex didn't have too much trouble either. But Ryan? Oh, Ryan's the focus of our story. Now, how it works in D&D is you roll a 20-sided dice to determine almost everything you do. Now, depending on your character, you might have advantages or disadvantages in certain skills. Not only was Ryan not very good at stealth, he was wearing heavy armor, which granted him a specific disadvantage for stealth, which meant he had to roll 2 dice and then take the lower number. Now Ryan took the pair of dice, balled it up into a fist, and shook it. His imaginary life was on the line. The 2 dice fell, clinking onto the table. The first one was a 5, a very clear failure, but the second one was a 1. Now, for those of you who don't know, a 1 is a critical failure. I was just about to narrate Ryan's clumsiness, but then he did it for me. Ryan then stood up in real life and slammed his fist down on the table, and what came out of his mouth would go down in history. Ryan then, with a booming voice, shouted, "Hey guys, I found a flower!" And then, to make sure he got his point across, he said, "Hey Derek, I said that in game, not just in real life." Now, Ryan was a brave soul for embracing his failure. All the guards were alerted and the alarm sounded. Soldiers rushed towards them in a frenzy. They were trapped, outnumbered, and outgunned. Now, Alex, being the diplomat of the group, started coming up with a plan, but he had to come up with it quickly. Alex was going to try to convince the guards that he was with them and that Ryan was simply a prisoner that he was escorting. Alex explained to the guards that his prisoner was exceptionally stupid and obsessed with flowers. I then told Alex to roll to see if that worked, and lo and behold, when Alex got his dice back, it had a 20 on it, a critical success. Miraculously, the group was able to successfully weasel their way out of this one, but Ryan forever earned the nickname of Flower Boy. Anyways, that's the story for you guys. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like and leave a comment. Subscribe, join my Discord, do all of those wonderful things. I'm hoping I'll be able to do this again. I'll get some practice under my belt and I'll figure out how this all works. Alright, I'll see you guys next time.